Φίλες και φίλοι του Sport24, γεια σας. Είμαστε εδώ στο στούντιο της 24 Media για μια πολύ μεγάλη συνέντευξη, για μια πολύ όμορφη συζήτηση με τον CEO της EuroLeague, Παούλιους Μοτιεγιούνας. Είναι τιμή μας που τον έχουμε μαζί μας. Thank you for being here with us. I hope you will enjoy this time with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
So I will start with a sort of personal question to break the ice. What has been the biggest challenge since you became EuroLeague CEO?
It's tough to say one thing. Adjusting to different role and different lifestyle. Barcelona is different than Lithuania, moving the family. Yeah. So many personal things, but work-wise, you just jump in the water and try to swim.
What are your strategic priorities right now? What's at the top of your agenda?
Stability.
Stability.
I wish we had some stability with everything what's going on. We have wars. We have outside people trying to come into Europe. So there's many things on the table, but we need to calm the waves down and look at the future.
How's that process for you? I mean, how you manage to find this stability you need for the league?
The season started. We need to first of all, make sure that the games go on. The fans are there, the support is there, and we keep growing the fan base. So we forget that this should be 90% of the work that we do. So we're doing a great job with that, especially thanks for the teams that are performing well and improving. And then, the strategy and what happens next, I think it goes in cycles. So we are at a cycle where it's normal that we have to reinvent ourselves and then things will be back to normal.
Financially speaking, the EuroLeague is growing year after year. What is your expectations in revenue growth, let's say in 3 to 5 years from now?
Listen, we have a goal to have a valuation of 3 billion in next 3 to 5 years. So it's not a financial income thing, but it's more like the goal that we agreed that we as a league with the teams should be in the valuation of 3 million. This is the goal that we set.
But is this feasible?
Yes, of course. We've grown 60% in the last 2 years. We see that we will continue to grow, so the path is clear and it's ambitious, but of course achievable.
So is EuroLeague still interested, let's say, in attracting external investors such as private equity? Because last season there were some talks, but there was no deal. Why do you think the shareholders rejected this plan in the end?
Listen, the investment thing is always a good thing if it's run and done the right way. At the moment, there's a lot of money in the investment funds who want to put it into sports. I think that's one of the reasons why we have outsiders trying to come in. And the other thing, what is really important is how you use the money, the timing of it. So I believe that the clubs, the shareholders saw that how much the valuation is growing compared to when we started the investment process. And I don't believe everybody said no. So it's just a matter of time and the use of the investments when it will be needed most. So it's still on the table. I'm not saying no, but I could not say a clear timeline when it could happen.
It sounds like it's not a priority right now.
No, it's not a priority. We're doing good. The teams are doing good. So I believe it was not a life and death situation. So it was good to take a pause and do it at the right time.
Now, having the upper hand in a negotiation is always a good thing. Competition-wise, should we expect another format, a change of the format in the next season? We have been hearing stories about 24 teams, conferences. Should we expect that?
Yes, this is still on the agenda. It's still on the plan. We believe that it's another step that we have to take. Ideally to 24 teams. If not, it can be a 22 team, 2 conferences, additional, maybe some tournament or in the middle of a season, all-star game. We want to make the calendar a little bit less condensed and maybe have something else to put in the competition. So that's pending and also in discussions.
Are there some teams that you can reveal that maybe will be in EuroLeague next season?
Especially from Greece?
Listen, we need to understand we have EuroCup, which is a competition where the teams can show good results and they can come. Not all the teams have the goal to become EuroLeague teams, so that there are many who are developing young players and really supporting the EuroLeague system through this. So let's see. We firstly pay attention, obviously, to the second competition that we have.
Are you monitoring the market of Greece right now? Because we see Aris BC and PAOK BC investing a lot of money. So you think there is space for a third Greek team in the EuroLeague?
Yeah, I think, we should not close the market. Greece is a wonderful market, and basketball is really popular here. It's one of our best markets in numbers of fans, and we need to acknowledge that. And there are really great franchises who have good fan bases, and I really hope that, basketball will bounce up together with infrastructure and the good management, and for sure, why not? Why not have more teams?
There are some reports or maybe rumors. You will tell us more about that. About
He laughed when he said the word rumors.
About teams who want to acquire Villeurbanne Velsters in the EuroLeague. Is that a possibility? And if yes, if the answer is yes, what's the actual process for this to happen?
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
Oh.
Just that?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the league decides, the clubs decide who stays, who goes, and this is a shareholder's decision. We don't have a mechanism yet that you can come and say, okay, you buy and you buy. You need approval from the clubs, and that's where the clubs have their first hand. So let's not even go that path.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the hottest question out of all, when are we going to see the ticket release for the 2026 EuroLeague Final Four here in Athens?
We really hope we had a closer deadline, and we believe that we want to start as soon as possible. I just had a meeting with the sports minister, and we agreed to push to have it finalized, the agreement finalized, and push the button as soon as possible. I cannot give a date because I will put everybody under the
pressure.
Yeah, under the pressure. But December would be something that's in our mind.
Early December, mid-December, Christmas time.
Ideally, as soon as possible. Let's keep it this way.
Okay. Will you have a special allocation? Is that something you are thinking of for the Greek audience versus the traveling fans?
Not really. We don't. I mean, it's the same system everywhere you go. So the clubs that qualify obviously have more tickets because they mostly come with a fan basis. So we don't expect a special sale because we know if we do that, it will be packed. So we have to find a balance. So keep the tickets for the teams and then open up for the visitors, because obviously this is what the government also wants: people coming, visiting this wonderful city and spending money here, being at the hotels and creating wonderful atmosphere in the arena.
Don't get me wrong, but we all know that Final Four is in the culture of European basketball. Do you see some change at some point? I mean, playoff series until the end?
I keep repeating no. I don't want to.
I know you keep repeating that, but
listen, if we have the game and these teams play each other now twice, so if we go all the way till and then you have the playoffs where they play each other, some teams again. So if you go all the way, it will be the same fans, the same teams, and we cannot open up for the audiences. Yeah. And this product that we have, the culture that we create, it's a mix of NCAA that we have and the highest professionalism. So I'm a huge fan of this. I understand that from the sporting side, maybe you can say unfair because it's only one game, but teams know this. They need to adjust. They need to be ready. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that's the only game or the only 3 games this year that we will have where you can have different fans competing with each other, because normally it's just a small group of visiting team fans versus the local fans.
So the Final Four is here to stay, but are there any teams that they are pushing for playoff series?
Obviously the strongest teams keep asking about it, but I think everybody understands the logic why we do it, and still the beauty of it, and it's a cherry on the top. Yeah. So we want to keep it, and we believe that, like I said, the sporting results, the teams can take it as an argument because it's easier to win the best of 5 series than the one game, but it's also the beauty of this.
Of course.
You already mentioned that the Greek government wants traveling fans here for the Final Four. What are the economic benefits you project for EuroLeague and for the city of Athens?
Listen, for the host cities, the marketing, the exposure, everything that they get is in hundreds of millions. So we can take Kaunas and Abu Dhabi, and it's always growing. And it's, like I said, it's between 150 and 200 million of revenue that you can see the exposure that the city will get with the fans coming and so on and so forth. So we each year we do the calculations and the numbers will be really amazing.
Okay. So Athens this season, with Olympiacos ready to renovate their arena too, are you considering hosting a Final Four in the future in Peace and Friendship Stadium? And for this to happen, what has to be done in the next years?
First, the infrastructure. Panathinaikos did a great job with the renovation. Now I can't wait to see what Olympiacos do, because it's completely upgrades the club to another level. And I'm really happy, how the Olympiacos are investing a lot and working on the project. So let's see how it plays out. And why not? It's a basketball city. It's a pleasure to do the Final Four here.
Yeah.
Do you see other teams going that path of building into their infrastructure, and how easy it is to convince them to do that?
Listen, it's not easy, but I think step by step we're getting there. Last year we had Bayern Munich start playing in the new arena. This year we have Valencia. We know Virtus is starting next year. We know Olympiacos is renovating. So it just, once you start, you understand that the money to invest is there. Everybody wants to put in the money because they know that this is the future. Barcelona also did not mention they have an arena ready, the project ready, so they just need to start. But once you get there and take the step, the revenues for the club is just, goes not by percentage, but by times up for the club. And it's, again, the sustainability, we always talk about sustainability. This is the first step to have sustainability.
The infrastructure.
Yes.
Of course. During the last couple of years, we see NBA players coming easier and much more often than in the past. Is this something you were expecting to happen at some point, or it's happening faster than what you were expecting?
I think it's happening because the teams are really investing into the, again, infrastructure, but also the way they treat the players, medical staff, physical training, all the facilities that they have. There's a lot of professionalism coming, and NBA is not, that surprisingly, amazingly good with this, a lot of traveling, a lot of, different things, and especially the playing minutes. So if you come here and you know your sport, you know that you will play. It's a high-level competition, and it doesn't surprise me. I think, the financial stability also of the clubs is completely on another level when it was a couple of years ago. So you sign the contract and you're going to have a great time, wonderful cities, the fans will love you. We have great examples here in Athens as well in both teams. I don't see it as a surprise, and I think it will continue to grow.
We also heard here on Sport24 in an interview with Giannis. Giannis said he wants to play in Europe for a couple of years after he retires from the NBA, and maybe he will retire earlier than what we were supposed to be. Do you feel it's just a matter of time for a player of this caliber to sign for a European team?
Listen, I'm Lithuanian, and I remember my love for Žalgiris started when Sabas came back and refused the contract with Portland. Where he
20 years ago.
Yes.
20 something.
And he had a guaranteed contract, and he said, "No, I want to finish career, with the club." And the club almost made it to the Final Four with an unfortunate one shot.
Sad.
Yes, so I really believe that it started then, it should continue, because it's completely different playing at home, playing for your home crowd, having support of your local guys. And the good example was Giannis in Eurobasket, when he was so happy when he won that bronze medal. For me, it's amazing. So playing at home versus playing out there, I think it's the feeling is completely different. So I can't wait to see him back and enjoy playing here.
We too.
Of course, obviously. Now let's go to the newest members of the league, Paris Basketball and Dubai BC. How satisfied are you with the way these two clubs operate? And can we expect another team from the United Arab Nation to come here, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi.
I'm really happy the way that both teams are doing. It's not easy for Dubai. It's easier for Paris, I believe, because they took it the long way and step by step qualifying. And I'm really happy that even after changing the roster a lot and the coach, there's still the same attitude, the same competition, the same energy. It's still a fun team to watch with different approach to basketball. than most of the traditional basketball cultures that we see. Dubai, we know it was a little bit a push and a lot of traveling, a lot of injuries, a lot of things that they need to learn. But still,
they're learning fast.
Yeah, and we still have this magic of EuroLeague that every game matters. So whoever goes there, they know that will be a good fight, and then they know it will not be easy. And the same way, then when they come here, to Europe, they still give the competition. So our every game matters mantra is still on, and that was the main thing that we wanted to preserve, and we're happy that we have it. And talking about the other teams, for sure, the market is not closed. It's too early to talk about which city from the Middle East and which country, but we tried it with the Final Four, with the team in here. So far it's successful. So carefully thinking about it, why close the door if it works out?
Yeah, you mentioned the every game matters. How you felt when you heard that Bayern Munich kept 3 guys out of a game for load management in 10 days ago?
Not a great fan. But it is what it is. We'll see what the results show. It's many injuries, but many injuries everywhere. It's not only EuroLeague, and again, this is in any sport. I hear soccer talking, football talking the same thing. We putting too much pressure on the players, but on the other side, we are put as managers to bring as much money as possible, and the money comes with the games, with the exposure, and so on and so forth. So I think we're going to grow. We know that for sure we pushed as much as possible with 20 teams round robin. We cannot push with more teams round robin. It's impossible. But the load management and practicing and going back to your example of the NBA, I think Europe is changing because it's less practices, it's more games, just like in US. So step by step, it's a learning curve, and I really hope that the injuries will go down, and then I don't like the load management.
Yeah, I know you don't like it, and I believe people also don't like it. But I'm curious to know how you handle this situation, and if you're afraid of this might become a trend in European basketball.
I don't think it will become a trend. Still, teams want to win. Players here want to play. And the difference between the NBA is, I'm sorry to say, but we have domestic competition where you can rest more and not rest for the EuroLeague games. In many, many occasions, or 99% of the occasions, still EuroLeague is the more important competition, at least during the regular season. Then once the playoff starts and everything, of course, our teams want to compete well in the domestic competition. But I always believe that doing the load management by limiting time or taking the players to rest in the domestic competition is a better way than resting the players in EuroLeague.
Yeah.
We've already said NBA multiple times during this conversation, and you recently said that the only way forward is together when we're talking about the NBA Europe. What would be an ideal collaboration for EuroLeague's perspective?
Listen, it's tough for me to say. I know what the ideal collaboration is. It's when you sit down and you decide, okay, how do we grow basketball? But we are not at that stage. So it's for me to go and say, hey, listen, let's sit down and talk and make the pie bigger, and then hear the interviews. You can see that we are a little bit too far apart.
How can you not be this far apart and come closer?
It's a matter of approach. If we see the last interview from Mark, where he says we want to dominate this market, listen, we're Europe. We don't want to be dominated. We want to work together, and this is the approach. If somebody comes and says we want to dominate, the Greek sport minister said we don't want that. We have our own culture. We have our own kids. We have who are now going to NCAA. We have NBA wanting to come and dominate and bring the best players like Giannis away from Europe back to US. This is not what we want. So if they understand this, we can sit down and talk. If not, I'm sorry, we will continue to do what we continue to do and try to maximize on everything that we're doing, rather than just waiting for somebody to come and say, save us or help us and so on and so forth. To
be clear, you believe at this time a collaboration is impossible?
Oh, we open for collaboration, but it has to be, it takes two, in this case, three to tango. So, FIBA is there, NBA is there, and FIBA has opened the doors many times for us to sit down and talk. Mm-hmm. But we need to put normal things on the table, but not just talk and then, one go their own way and we have to adjust. No, we've been here for 25 years. This is our 26th season. We know what we're doing. We know how wonderful the teams that we have. And we know that we have a great fan base and great clubs who run these fan bases. So let's talk, but not with the approach that, we will tell you how to ride the bicycle.
I'm curious to ask, let's say if EuroLeague and the NBA can't find a way to collaborate, who has to find a plan B? Both? The NBA? The EuroLeague?
Listen,
if the discussion fail?
No, I don't think there's two things the way I see it. There's a lot of money on investment funds who want to use the money. And now it's a question of how you use that money and how you convince. NBA is a great brand worldwide that, they can try to use this to make business out of basketball. And we clearly saying, we have basketball and we're trying to build business around the game of basketball, about the fans, about the emotions. We talked about the Final Four, how crazy it is. So this is our approach. And on the other side, we have the guys who come and say, these are the most important markets. This is where the most money is. We go in there, and then we will try to bring basketball into that. It's a completely different approach. Yeah. So I don't think there's a third party. I know FIBA, like I said, with huge respect to Andreas Zaklis. He opened the door, we sat, we talked, and to be in the middle, it's not easy, but we've tried, and I'm sure we'll continue to try. But how to take these two approaches, this is a billion-dollar question.
Yeah. Can you share with us some things that were said during your visit with the Greek authorities today?
Oh, the discussion is the Final Four, obviously, and also the discussion about the threat of people coming to dominate our market.
Nothing about the NBA?
No, so the NBA is people from outside trying to come and dominate. This is how I call it.
Okay.
There are a few teams that currently in the EuroLeague, Real, Barca, and Fener, who haven't signed their new contracts with the league. At this moment, do you think they're closer on staying or at the exit door?
I keep repeating, I'm really optimistic. We had meetings with Barcelona, we keep talking to Fenerbahce, we're going to Madrid to talk to them. It's a normal thing that the big brand like NBA comes and promises something and starts to explore that everybody wants to listen. But they've part of our system. I believe they will continue to stay part of a system. And this is what we're discussing, how long, which way, and so on and so forth. But if you ask me, I'm really optimistic, and I believe that we have the best product, and that exploration process, it will take longer than 2027, in my view.
The rest of the shareholders have signed 10-year contracts with you again. If these clubs say we're undecisive at this point and we want to explore more what NBA can offer, is there a way for them to stay in the EuroLeague for 2-3 years, not sign 10-year contract, or is that out of the table?
You're going in so many details that I'm pretty sure that the fans and everybody will start discussing like crazy. We're looking at 10-year period and not thinking about shorter term, longer term. We have teams committed, and I believe that we will have the others committed as well, and we will continue for another 10 years minimum.
In a recent press conference, Zeljko Obradović said you have 20 teams and only 13 of them are owners and shareholders. Is this correct? Let's do it everybody together so we have 20 teams deciding about the competition. Is this a real possibility?
We don't have 20 teams, we have 40 teams. We have 20 teams in the Eurocup as well. So I know Zeljko is a great coach and a great basketball person, and I 100% agree with him. One good thing of this, outside threat, I think is good for everybody to rethink of how the system works, what we have. And this is a great approach that Zeljko presented. And we're also talking to the teams who are not part of the shareholding system. And we know that they want to be of the shareholding part system. So it's also a discussion and a good discussion. Honestly, I really believe that there's a lot of truth that Zeljko is saying.
Is this a last question?
We will see.
Okay, I'm not saying it's the last. So, if you could build like the ultimate league, an ideal league, what is your dream? How many teams? How many games? What's the system competition?
I'm not that crazy dreamer. I see the steps ahead. 24 teams. We have the Russian teams who are not playing. We have the Israeli teams who are not playing at home. So
when are they coming back?
We're trying to do everything to make it as soon as possible. And if we have all that, it's much easier to plan because you have a shareholder who cannot play. You have teams like Hapoel Jerusalem who cannot play, Hapoel Tel Aviv, and obviously our shareholder Maccabi, who's doing everything to bring the games back. So ideally for me, it's next step is 24 teams, everybody playing at home, not in neutral venues, and this is what I'm focused on. And 24 teams, maybe an all-star game in the middle of the season, Final Four, like we said, and strong Euro Cup.
And if you put 2 divisions, how are you gonna serve the teams geographically? I mean, north.
Listen,
south.
The most important thing in our view is rivalries. Mm-hmm. So to put Olympiacos, Panathinaikos in different brackets, it doesn't work. So we need to focus on the rivalries, and then the traveling is not that big of an issue. So we would divide the teams that we keep as many rivalries as possible, at least, in both conferences.
So this is starting next season? Most probably.
Fingers crossed, yes.
Most probably. Any other questions?
No, I think I'm covered.
I'm keeping your word that you feel optimistic about the EuroLeague, about the European basketball. I believe all European fans want one league. It would be great to have a collaboration between all the parties, but let's wait and see how this unfolds. I wish you all the best. Thank you very, very much for being here with us. And I hope you enjoy Greece, especially this time of the year. It's a little chillier than May. May will be a little hotter in every part of your daily life.
Not just the weather.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.